Welcome to the original Murmungie Hall. It's a heritage listed building built in 1869. This hall served the community as the local school, as a multi-denominational church, and also as a public hall for almost over 100 years, and still serves the community for meetings up until this day. It had its 150th anniversary last year, and this is a perfect place to introduce the next segment of our history project, which is interviews with 3 local residents who have links back to the original settlers in the basin. The first interview we'll do will be with 90-year-old Bruce Witherow. Bruce's father died when he was, I think, 3 years old, and his mother raised 3 very young children and kept the farm going. A very hard prospect for a woman in those days. In the first segment of Bruce's interviews, he'll talk about his school days in the basin, about his early farming life, about raising dairies and pigs, his early married life, and then we'll break for the second.
That was the wife of the
school teacher.
What was his name?
Jim Carney.
Right. And how long ago did he pass?
It's only a few years. He was 99.
Right. Okay.
And
Did he live at the school there?
he designed the house.
Or opposite, that's Jim's.
Yeah.
Jim Witherow's old house.
And they lived there until he shifted into Beechworth.
Right. Well, how would he come down to school then?
He used to come down on his motorbike and sidecar.
Oh, right.
We'd be sitting in the stable at the old hall on the rails.
Yeah.
And he'd be at the road gate tooting, and we wouldn't
Let him in.
We wouldn't go there.
Oh, God.
Mr. Carney, when I started, there was 18 kids going to school, 8 different grades he taught.
Yeah.
And I belted one of the girls up at Easter because she pinched me Easter egg.
Oh.
So I got the cuts.
Oh, did you? Yeah. You used to get the cuts a bit, I believe.
Yeah. Like we were issued with wooden rulers, and they had a little groove down the centre, and we'd scribble on them.
Right.
When they got a bit tatty, we'd break them and then push them together. Then somebody'd play up. Mr. Carney'd rush over and grab the nearest ruler to give you a cut across the knuckle. And of course the ruler would break, and we got a new ruler.
Oh, you'd think it was him, I suppose. I think he'd have woken up to you, Bruce, somehow.
Like when I started, you're issued with a slate, and Mr. Carney ruled lines on one side.
Right.
And we had to write properly. We taught
In between the lines.
yeah,
Right.
and on the angle.
Ah.
And
And that'd be copper plate, would it? Copper plate writing, or?
oh, I don't know what you call it.
Yeah. So, what was the name of the farm where you grew up, Bruce?
Milton Lodge.
Milton Lodge, okay. Yeah, rightio. And you had a sister and a brother, as
Yeah,
well as yourself, rightio.
Yeah.
And that was a dairy farm?
mixed farm.
Mixed farm.
Yeah, for
What would you have on that?
cattle and sheep
Yeah.
and horses.
Right. Any
And,
pigs?
We had about 8 draft horses
Right.
and about 4 or 5 ponies.
Right.
Had more ponies than saddles,
Yeah.
and we used to ride them bareback
Yeah.
and no bridle, steal them with our feet
Yeah.
and bring the draft horses in.
Yeah.
And
What time did you feed the graft horses? What do you have to do there?
we had to feed them before they went out to plough
Yeah.
or in the binder.
So your mum employed a few people on the farm, didn't she?
Yeah, she had the first bloke she had, he was, had a few years, but he was going down the bottom paddock, which was Scotty's,
Yeah, down
and
here.
he told Mum that's where he was working, and he was breaking his uncle's horses in.
And not doing any work at all.
And
Gee.
the neighbour told Mum about him, so she got rid of him.
Yeah.
And then the other bloke she had, he used to take the horses up to plough in Millens, and
Is that up where
Mick
Big Pund is now? Oh,
and
right, yeah.
he tied the horses under the tree and slept all day.
Oh, God.
So then
Not much value.
she got rid of him, and Tom Kelly said, would she take George Ward?
Right.
And he'd take Alan Goonan.
All right.
And
Well, George Ward didn't die that long ago, did he?
no, he went over to Leneve. I went down to Bowman,
Yeah.
had the post office there
Oh.
for a number of years, and then
Right.
went to Leneve.
Oh, that'd be great. He was reliable, wasn't he?
Yeah,
So, did you kids have to help with the milking at all?
yes. As soon as we turned 6, we had to learn to milk by hand.
Right. You
And-
milk by hand.
Yeah,
Gee.
and
No milking machines.
no, we didn't have milking machines till 48, I think.
Yeah, right.
And
That's when you built the new shed.
yeah. Two of us, Betty and I, were going to catch the school bus at 7:30 of the morning. We had to get up at 4:30 and milk 17 cows each.
God.
3 of us milked 17 each,
Yeah, right.
2.5 hours,
Gee.
and separate the milk and
Did
feed
you
the
sell,
pigs
you
and
sold cheese?
Hey,
You sold cream.
yeah,
Rightio.
yeah,
And you fed you had pigs?
yeah, we
Yeah.
had pigs,
I
yeah.
remember where the old pig pen was up near Johnny's there.
Yeah,
How were you as a student when you were that? You'd be that tired from milking from
well,
home?
I used to go to sleep in school.
Right.
We'd get home at 5 o'clock, and then Wardy was there, had an extra one to milk at night. And
Right.
we'd be having tea at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh,
And
make it pretty hard to learn.
Auntie used to turn the separator.
That's Miss Miller.
Yeah.
Ah. And so did that separator, was that in that old
That-
whitewashed garage that was beside Radio, and the stickers were still on the wall, I remember.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, gee. And so eventually Nita came along, who you married,
Yeah,
and you then got this part of the farm, didn't you?
yeah, but I had to pay gift duty, which was 2/3 the probate at the time.
Right.
I only got the ground, not
It
even
wasn't a house here.
no, not even a decent boundary fence.
Well, if you didn't have a house, where did you live?
We built the shearing shed and lived in it 5.5 years.
Oh.
Used to get ice on the kitchen table. In the
So
winter.
how many kids did you have?
5
Rightio. And you just lived in the old shed over here,
in the shearing shed.
which you built.
Yeah,
Rightio.
and I had a 30 hundredweight Austin truck.
Right.
And I got Dow's Ferguson at Everton to make a bit of a canopy the size of a double mattress.
Oh.
And we used to put a double mattress in it and go every Friday night to the old time dances.
Yeah, right.
And during the night we put the kids to sleep in the back, and then when we're coming home, one would sit in the back and the other one drive. And
Yeah.
then when we pulled up outside the shearing shed, we left the kids in there.
They just sleep in there, they wouldn't know anyway, would they?
And our first Christmas in the shearing shed, the kids were all excited about Santa coming.
Yeah.
We're trying to get them to sleep and just got them bedded down when a car come down the road, started tooting.
Oh.
Merry Christmas, pals.
They woke up.
It was-
Was that Ticker?
It was Ticker,
Oh.
Ticker Neary.
He would have been sober, like hell. So how did you get out of the shearing shed? So we're in a house now, what happened?
After I contacted the politician about Mamungi getting flooded, he said,
What's the flood? What's that about? I don't know anything about that.
see, they were going to make a dam out of Mamungi for water for Melbourne.
Oh.
And he said as long as he was alive and I was, it'd never be built.
Mm.
And so we decided to see Tom McGeehan. He built Tickaneri's house,
Yes.
and he built it after Tickers.
Oh.
And we saw this rise. That's why we built here.
On the rise.
Because the creek got flooded in
Oh.
56.
Right.
And,
So the house got built, and then what happened after that? Were you milking cows then, or?
yeah,
So you must have built a dairy as well.
we built the dairy. And
Ah.
I had to see the solicitors to get him to finish it.
Oh.
He got the money and didn't finish it.
Oh hell.
And we only had half the yard, and Nita used to stand with a lump of pipe to hold the cows in the yard while I milked.
And so you had pigs too?
Yeah,
So you
in the end,
separated and
in the end I had 500 odd pigs.
right.
I used to sell the back fatters to the Italians,
All right.
and I had a good market there. And
Yeah.
I used to go to Wang one week and Wodonga the next, and at Wodonga the auctioneers would start to run me, so I leave the pigs with them.
Yeah,
And-
rightio. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, rightio.
So then they'd offer them to me.
Bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.